who is responsible for water leaking down into your downstairs apartment? So picture this, you're winding down after a long day, you're sitting on your couch, and you see water dripping from the ceiling above you, or maybe it's running down the wall. What do you do? Well, the first thing you do is contact your management company or the apartment owner and put them on notice. Do this immediately. Well, Tom, why in the world would I want to do this immediately? It's just a little water. Well, I handled one case a little bit ago. It involved a gentleman. He got up in the middle of the night. He went to go use the bathroom. It was dark. He stepped onto the tile. He fell. He injured himself rather severely. Well, why did he fall in his own bathroom? That's ridiculous. Well, what happened was the water from upstairs was dripping onto the tile of his bathroom and made a pool of water that was slippery. He didn't know about it. So he was injured due to this leak, and he shouldn't have been. In another instance, there was a family living in a lower unit, and the upper unit was dripping water into the ceiling cavity, and this continued over time, and mold grew. Well, suddenly everyone downstairs is having allergic reactions to the mold. They actually had to move out. It was rather unpleasant. So when you see a water leak, don't just blow it off. Actually go report it. If it is the management company that takes the report, tell them. If it's the owner that takes the report, tell them. Tell them in writing if you can. It's always helpful to have an email, a text message, something like that to preserve the record so people know that you are actually giving them notice over and over again and they weren't doing anything, as opposed to, well, you never said anything. This is the first we've heard of it and you're a liar. Typically, when pipes are in the walls or in the ceiling, floor cavity, it's going to be the responsibility of the building owner or the management company because there's nothing the person above or below can do about it. Now, what about the situation where you've got a neighbor above you and they like to take baths and they fill up the bathtub and they leave the water running and they forget about it and now it floods you? Well, they may have some responsibility too. So the first thing to do is always put the owner of the building on notice because they're, number one, the person who has control of the building. Number two, they're the people with the insurance policies. Your neighbor upstairs may have an insurance policy too, and that could lead to subrogation actions, which we're not going to talk about today. But the moral of this story is if there's water coming in from your ceiling, down your walls, report it, put it in writing. Thanks very much for watching.